This is Irontrader. This is the last call of the day. So I'm going to take a look here at Bitcoin, at that Ethereum ETF, ETHU, gold, silver, crude oil, natural gas, and then we'll take a look at the indexes, which are all green except for the old Dow. Okay, at the end of the video, the support and resistance level are posted for crude and natural gas. This video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation to buy any stock market ETF. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. All right, here we have Bitcoin daily and weekly chart. Now you can see here how nicely this is ripping up. This is what we're looking for right here, the top of that candle at that 125,200, and now we're sitting at 126,865 level. We got our high today. So I said we could break out of this double top. See that nice double top that we had? Sold right on off here, rallied up, and then we were holding that 50-day really nice. This red candle here was a turnaround, but again, always look at the information. You had $1.5 billion in sales. They were just liquidating out Bitcoin. Then you had $22 billion worth of options, took it all the way down, but then we put this indecision candle. Then we've been ripping up here ever since. Now we are outside of this price channel. Okay, so a lot of times what you do is you want to probably maybe come in a little bit here, a little sideways action, but 126,865, I'm looking for that 130 level and possibly 135 level. Now we're only sitting at 67. You got plenty of room to run. The green is over your red, looking very, very nice. I'm strong, long and strong. The BITX, very, very nice. You're up there about 4.5% right now. Okay, we look at the weekly chart. You can just see here what just a beautiful uptrending chart it is. Series of higher highs and higher lows. You're holding the 50-day, and she's just breaking right on out. Now you look at the RSI. Hell, you got plenty of room to run. The green is just crossing over your red now. Just looks like it wants to go higher. Now on the downside here, well, what we want to do is we had this 125 25 that we had on Friday, but this is the level that you're watching right here on the downside. It's going to be very, very key. Is 125 200. That's going to be your support level because that's what your breakout was. Okay. Now obviously, if we lose that, then we just come right to the left. We just do the opposite of what we're doing for the resistance levels. Now they become support. 123,615. We got sticky here at 122,955. We'll come up there, 121,255, and then we just follow those candles down. You got 127.55. Then we have 119,810 level. We'll come over top of this candle at 119,145, and then we have 118,295, and then we'll be looking for 8-day at 117,483 level, and then we have that 21-day at 115,743, and then your next support level is 115,476. Now you can see how nicely the 8-day crossed the 21-day, crossed the 50-day, and now this is rallying up here very nice. So if it pulls back, this should create very, very nice support and a good buying opportunity. Now when the futures open back up at 6 o'clock, this 8-day is not going to be at 117,485. This is going to be moving much higher, kind of a situation. So we've got to see how this all going to close out today. But we look at the RSI and the MACD, we got plenty of room to run. I'm looking for that 130 area situation. Maybe not today, but down the road here, looking for 130, possibly 135 level. Okay, so that's what we're looking for on the old Bitcoin. Now, again, I'm long the BITX, and I'm also trading the BITX. So very, very good trading in that. I just said way down here, when we get this situation, we came and we sold all the way down to the 108,555 level. This is what we wanted to hold. It was that 107,790. We did. We have a double bottom situation. Always look for anything that gives you an advantage. And I said, always, always, always look for opportunity. It held that opportunity. BITX all the way up. I'm in there. I think it's at $50. And BITX is sitting right now at $66. Okay. Plus, I trade it every day on every candle. So holding 5,000, trading 5,000, just a fantastic trade. Okay. Let's take a look here now at Ethereum ETF. All right, here we have the Ethereum ETF, okay? ETHU, nice. So we had this double top situation, very, very nice here, sold right down, and then we just sold right on off kind of a situation, like with the Bitcoin, no big deal, okay? But look for opportunity. Now, I don't personally trade this, but there's a lot of people that do. I just trade the Bitcoin. Just remember, you can't trade everything, okay? Even like Bitcoin, I trade the BITX. I started off trading IBIT, but I'm always, I've been doing this for, over 2.5 decades. And so to me, I have no fear of the juice, okay? So that's why I like to have a little bit of a juice, a little bit more in the hand there, okay? So this has a really, really good a trade up here, okay? What we did is it gapped up higher, and now we just have these green candles. So we have an indecision candle. It got as high as that 158 level. So your resistance there was 158.10. See how nice that held it? Now today we made a higher high higher low, and now we're looking right into that 168.49 level. Okay, so that's what we'll be looking for. And all that is just the top of that candle. Now we get above that. Ooh, yeah, then it's just gonna rock and roll. Okay, you got 171.40 level. Then your next level is 174.97. Then we have 175.80. An old sticky here, 183. And then we have 186.68, and then we come up there at that 188.73. You crack that, you're going at 200. Okay, it's just that simple. But again, watch that price channel. That's why you put price channels on there. It's at 168.49, and all that is just the top of that candle. Okay, very, very nice. Now on the downside here, what we're going to be watching is going to be watching right here. Okay, so we want to watch that 165 level, but this is going to be key, 158.10. Okay, so we get next support level will be right above that. It would be 152.95, and then we look to the bottom of there at 147.46, and then we have that 144 level, which is your 21 day and your 50-day level, and then we have that 8-day right below it at 138.62. Now you can see how that 8-day is rolling up here, looking very, very good. And look at this RSI. You got plenty of room to run. The green over your end, plenty of room to run, looking very, very bullish. Now, and when we were up here, we were holding that 8-day. I said, well, if this does get a sell-off, we could come down to that 50-day, and we damn near came pretty close. Now, you can see we put that bottoming tail in there, nice green candle, where to go? Right up into that 8-day and held it, and then today we have a little bit higher high. So, again, your big target up there is that 188.73. Now, we cracked that bad boy, okay? Then we'll look at here what we got, okay? You got not only your 200 mark, you cracked that, you got 232.91. Look it up here, okay? 246, and look at all the way here. 251. So this has plenty room to run. And when we look at this RSI and this MACD, this is guys way room to run kind of a situation. So I actually might even look at this myself. If we can close above that 168 level, then I would probably take the trade here and run it up at least to a retest of 188.73 level. Okay. All right. Let's take a look here now at gold and silver. All right, here we have gold, here we have silver. Took a little scalp in GLD today, very, very good trading, and I didn't take any trade in the silver today. But gold looks very, very good here. Look at this. See how we broke out? 39.23. Okay, so then when we were down here, I said we'd be looking at that 38 and 38.20 level. We came up 38.24, just a little bit higher. Then we came up here, I said you're looking for that 39.20 level. Two up higher, a little bit above that. Now I said we're looking for that 4,000 area. So far we hit that 39.94 level, and you can overshoot that by 39.20. Okay, then we have to see what the reactions are going to be. If you got to keep right on rolling, well then obviously you have a target there at that 5,000. But look at here what we got. Okay, look at this. Look at this. See, this is you're sitting at over that 80 mark here, so you got to be a little bit careful on what's going up there. The green is still over your red. Very, very strong, but very, very overbought situation also. Okay, so this is, I always use gold and silver as like a fear factor, and obviously this is fear is rolling up here. Okay, so anyway, so we're looking for that 4,000 mark here. We're coming within 6 there, and we overshoot that. You're looking at that 4,020 market. Downside, you just want to hold the top of that candle. That's that 39.22 level. And then we could come down here to today's low at 39.09, and then we're looking for that 8-day. Long as this price is above that 8-day, it's going to be sideways to up kind of an action here. But just be a little bit careful up here because we're even way over that 80 kind of a mark here. Okay. Now silver, same kind of a situation. I'm actually looking for that 50 mark. We got 48.61. Obviously, next target is going to be 49. And then I see we're going to be looking for that 50, just like we're looking for that 4,000 on there. This is a little bit slower, but it's still okay. So 48.61, next target is going to be that 49, 49.50. But really, I think you're going to hit that 50 market on this. Downside, you want to hold 47.86. That's that low, and then we're going to come to the top of that candle, 47.41, and then we look at your 8-day at 47.06. Now, again, as long as that price is above that 8-day, this is sideways to up action. If you own it, I would still hold it until it tells you not to. Okay, so what you're looking for is a topping tail candle or like a lower high situation, anything that tells you that the gold and silver are coming off. But right now, you just got a bull run, got to stick with it. But remember, ride the wave, but get off before you hit the shore. Okay, let's take a look here now at crude oil, natural gas. Here we have crude oil. Here we have natural gas. Now you can see here on the Krudski, we had this double top situation. See where we made this high of 66.03. We retested the high 66.42. A little bit above it. You notice that it couldn't hold it. Topping tail, and then what happened? Boom. Down she goes. Now we're watching this key level right here, this 61.45 level, and you can see where it came down and hit that 60 40 level. So let's take a look at the upside here first. So actually, we're looking at today's high, looking at that 62.12. That's your first resistance. Next level is going to be very easy, 62.61. Okay, 63 flat. 63.91, 64.79. Look to the top of this candle here, 65.40, and then we have that 66.61 sitting right at that 200-day. Now, again, when the futures open there at 6 p.m., that 8-day is going to be lower, kind of a situation, and now we're below that 8-day, which is going to be very strong resistant level. Okay, on the downside here, well, what you're really watching is obviously today's low situation. You're looking at 61.04, and then we're really looking here is that 60.40 now. Okay, so if we lose that, then we come to the bottom of the candle, 60.02. That's your next support level, and then we have that 59.74. We lose that, we just bring that price channel right across. 57.74, and you can come down here to 55.12. Eventually, I just think by the end of the year, you're going to be down in that 50 range. Not saying you're going to be like $50 or something, but again, I just think you're going to be traded around that 55 to 59 area. I think is where we go. Now, remember, OPEC is adding 137,000 barrels per day here in November. Okay, so they're really surplused up here. Okay, so there's obviously plenty of supply. But again, the price is holding in, I would think, pretty good versus how much supply is on the market. Okay, so it's really well supplied, I should say. So just be a little bit careful here if you're going to try to do a long position. But a lot of times what happens is after the OPEC meeting, okay, now the news is out, then it gets a little bit of a rally situation. But the key is it going to last? All right, so just basically on the upside, watch that 8-day, 21-day, 50-day, 100-day, keep rolling up. You got the 200-day downside. Watch that 60.40. If you lose that, okay, 59.74, that's going to be your target. Now, RSI, you're not overbought, you're not oversold, you're sitting at 43. This here is sitting at green to below your red. So again, I don't have really, especially in this much time frame, exactly where this is going to be going up that much higher, unless there's going to be a situation. Now, again, anything can happen. You have any kind of disruption, you have a war or anything, that can send crude up much higher, just like it did here in the past. Okay, see right there? Nice inverse head and shoulders. Went to that 200-day, $10 premium with that Israel-Iran war. See? Very easy. It can just boom, pop right on up. So again, that's why I like trading crude because it's always in play. Now, Natgas, very interesting today. It was a really good trade into UNG. I bought it yesterday after Sunday. Now, remember, UNG trades 24 hours a day. The short KLD, 24 hours a day. UCO, SCO for crude oil, 24 hours a day. Same way with Tesla, Palantir, Google, Netflix. All this stuff now trades 24 hours. So you can trade from Sunday night at 8 o'clock at night till, I believe it's 4 o'clock on Friday afternoon, kind of a situation. And then you can go after hours, so basically 8 o'clock at night on Friday. So really 8 to 8, very nice trade. So I jumped in the UNG for a simple reason. It held that 8-day. Okay, when it went up to the 21-day, boom, I'm gone. I'm out of here. See you later. Okay, very nice, very nice trade there today. So right now, I don't have any position, but I'm going to be watching today's candle and kind of a situation. So basically, we're pretty much like trapped, okay? Downside, 328, upside, 348. Okay, see that? Boom. 8-day on the bottom, 200-day on the top. Okay, so now on the upside, what we're looking for, your next upside resistance is going to be right there. Look at the bottom of the candle, 340. Then we'll come on top of that candle there, 345. Then we have the 348. Now we crack above that 200-day. That's very strong, as you can see. Then we can retest that 358 level. Boom, you crack that, and then here's your next target at that 362. Okay, now if they say this cracks down, well, we're looking for that 8-day. We lose that 8-day, we're going to come right there. Your next support is 324. All right, then we lose that. We're going to come right to the top of that candle. You got 3.19. All right, just that easy. Then we come over here. You got 3.16. Then we have 3.12, and then we have their 21-day at 309, and your 50-day at 3 flat. Okay, but that 8-day is going to produce very good, strong support, as we can see today. Okay, now it never did get to an oversold condition. Okay, and now she's trying to move right back up. But again, I think eventually you're going to crack that 200-day, you're going to crack that 358, and I think we're going to head right up here to this mark up here, all the way at that 414 level. Okay, eventually. Not today, but eventually. But this was a nice double bottom situation, so always pay attention to that. If you want to learn about chart patterns or candlesticks, I got that on my playlist. And I also, I always throw the video up there every so often on a Saturday, so you can always recheck it. I look at it every week just to stay sharp. That's the whole key about it, okay? But right now, we just have the trade between that 8-day and that 200-day. So we got to see which one's going to win out. Is going to crack that, hit the 100-day, 20 and 50-day, or is she going to crack above that 200-day and retest that 358? All right, let's take a look here at the indexes. All right, here we have the indexes. Now, the other one that isn't working here is going to be the Dow. However, okay, now look and see the Dow sold off, but where did it go? Okay, right into the 8-day. Look at that. See? That's why you trade the charts, right to the 8-day. So now basically what you're looking for is you're looking for the top of that candle on the upside, 46,714. We're looking for today's high, 46,846, and then your retest at 47,49. You crack that, who knows where you can go. It's blue sky. You can go 47.5. You can go 48. You can go 50 grand. Okay, very, very easy. It's just rallying up here, and you will lose that 8-day. Well, then we just hit that 21-day, got the 50-day, got the 100-day. We got a gap in the fill. We got the 200-day. So you got a lot of good support. But right now, ride the wave. You got 8-day, right in that 8-day. This is, for me, is a trader's market. Every day, just great trades. Boom, out, money in the pocket. Okay, here we're looking for is that 6,700. Now we got as high as 6,750 level. So we didn't really hit that again today. What did we hit today so far? We hit 6,749. Look at that shit. Okay, see, our resistance was 6,750. Okay, so 6,750. You crack above that, you're going to go to that 6,800 mark. Okay, just that easy. And then you could rally all up to 7,000. Okay, very, very easy. So again, downside, just watch that 8-day. We lose that, you got the 21-day. Lose that, you got the 050 estimate here. Okay, so right now this is just a trader's market because this is just absolute moonshot. Okay, and when everything is up like this here, you got negative divergence. Doesn't seem to really care. Negative divergence going on here. Again, it still just wants to rally up. Now here we have the old Nasdaq. Now, again, everything was with the AMD, the OpenAI. Tesla's running here. They're making the robots or something like this. And he had some kind of a video out there on how they're marching the robots all down. And so just remember, Tesla's not a car company. Well, they are and they aren't. They're also very technology, the AI, the whole 9 yards. If he gets these robots together and he gets them working in these factories, you won't really need people. They can work 24/7, and you'll need a maintenance guy. Maybe like the old Wizard of Oz, a Tin Man, squeeze a little oil in them every so often. Okay, but that's pretty much it. Now, Meta was a really good trade today. Came all the way down to 690.51, and now you're right back up there at 715. Just a beautiful trade. The other one a little bit lagger is that Nvidia went up to that 91 area, and then now she's just pulling right on back here. But everything else is a really, really good trade as far as the technology goes. My TQQ, that's up there nicely, up there 3%. So everything is working very, very good. Now, eventually it comes to an end, but right now it just keeps on rallying up. So 22,991, I'm looking for that 23,000 level. Then we'll see where we're going to be. After that, do we go 23.5? Do we run it all up to 25,000? We don't know that yet because you had blue sky. Now, you can do Fibonacci's and you can put that on there. And that all sounds good. But a lot of times, you can overshoot that very, very easy. Same way with the trend lines, very, very easy. Just like you did on gold. You had a trend line at 39, 3,900, and it goes up to, you can go up to, 39.20. Very, very easy. Same way with 4,000, you can run up to 4,020. Okay, so right now we got blue skies, and then, okay, so you got 22,991. I'm looking for that 23,000. We're coming very, very close to it. And then we have to see what the reaction is once you get there. But we still have the negative divergence going on, but it doesn't seem to matter. These are just really, really good trading markets, okay? Now, this time of the year is a little strange because usually this is the worst time of the year for stocks from end of October, August, September, and that first week or so of October. But right now, it doesn't really seem to matter. However, you could come back to haunt you like it's, say, November or something there too, okay? Because you always have, tech selling. You always have that. So always remember that, use stop losses, okay? It's very, is better to take a little loss than take a huge loss, okay? That's the first thing is, and take money, put it in your pocket. That's the key. Like BITX trade, skim that today. Really nice, good money in the pocket. There's so many really good trades that, don't be afraid to take money off the table. All right, that's what I got for you. I'll be back here tomorrow morning. We'll do it all over again. Trade what's in front of you, not what you want.